Guys, let's talk about it. Being perimenopausal and being overweight sucks at times. One of the first things that I've noticed about being overweight is aches and pains. And when you add perimenopause, you're tossing at night, you're hot, and then you're just popping and crackling and getting good sleep. Sometimes it's impossible. So you end up just waking up and trying to do everything to cool off, rubbing creams and all this stuff, trying to get your body to feel better so you can go back to bed. Another thing that I've noticed is when you're going through perimenopause and you're overweight is sweat. So typically little things that I do around the house, like walking around or I go upstairs, I find my face sweaty. And sometimes I'm sweating through my clothes because I'm just uncomfortable, I'm hot. And so it's like both things going on at the same time. It's just not fun. The other thing I've noticed is my energy levels. Being overweight, your energy levels are lower. So I find myself like sometimes doing stuff and I'm just like, I need to sit down because I'm hot. I'm feeling miserable over here for the perimenopause. And then I find myself just like, I climb those stairs to go get something from the car and I need to sit down. Okay. Not fun. The other thing is that you feel invisible a little bit when you are overweight. Because I noticed like before I used to get compliments on my clothes, compliment on different things. Now I barely get any compliments from people, when I'm walking around, running errands. Like before I used to get like, oh, that's cute. This is that and that's cute. This. I feel like sometimes people don't even see me. And that was like, whoa, what's going on here? When you overweight, there's this anxiety that you get that I've checked everything, as far as health goes, everything looks good. But there's always this anxiety that what if something comes up because of being overweight? Like, what if something comes up because of something that you didn't do something about? For example, like having like pre-diabetes, for example, if it comes up, it's because you blame yourself. It's your fault that you didn't do all the things that you needed to do to not get there. So there's always this anxiety, like, what if you get a health issue based on you being overweight? Not that I'm saying that everybody that's overweight is going to have an issue, but sometimes, they say diabetes is like a lifestyle thing. So sometimes what you're eating and blah, blah, blah can affect that. So sometimes you have this anxiety. Another thing is comments that people make, whether it's on social media or people making comments. Like one time, this lady was asking me, I think she knew me from somewhere. She said, did you lose weight? And one person was like, I don't know if it was my coworker or whatever, or somebody mumbled something like, oh, it's just the outfit that she's wearing. And I was like, maybe I did lose weight. How do you know? So it's always comments. And sometimes I've noticed, when people are sitting talking about weight things, I start getting anxiety and I feel triggered. While I'm a confident person in so many ways, there's topics that trigger me because I'm like, oh, wow, they're talking about weight. The other thing is that sometimes you get in the car and everything moves, or you try to sit somewhere small and you can't fit. Like restaurants, for example, when you go in to sit, you have to like hold your stomach in trying to get in there. Because the tables are just feeling small, and me also being tall. Sometimes I'm just uncomfortable sitting somewhere because I feel like I'm spilling over and things like that. So that's another thing. Another thing is that, this, like my son plays around with my skin. He's like, you're so squishy, mom, you're squishy. And my husband is like all over me, like squishing me and squishing this and just having, my husband loves all of me. He loves me the way I am, no problem. But he plays with it a lot, and it feels like my squishiness keeps him warm at night, and he just enjoys it. But I'm like, woo, girl, there's a lot of squishiness going on. So, you have to laugh about some stuff, to kind of keep it light sometimes. But in the end, when you're an overweight person and you're alone, by yourself somewhere, you think of stuff like that. You think of how much you're aching. You think of how much your confidence could be so much better. You think, man, I would have so much energy if I didn't have this weight issue. You think, man, it's nice to just enjoy certain types of foods without having to worry like, oh, there goes another calorie that I'm going to add, or there goes this. Like you start just going through this thing, I've never dieted. I've never worked on losing weight and all that stuff. But, I'm in my 40s now and I want to be here for the long run. So I'm like, girl, you have to start doing something to try to keep yourself going, Even though I don't have health issues, I'm still like, man, I want to be here for the long run. I say that if my son grows up one day and he has grandkids, has kids, I want to be here to be a grandma. Like, that's one of my things that I would love to do. And so you need to be healthy to be able to do that. And you need to be strong and active and moving and things like that. So it's not fun, you know. One time I had so much pain getting out of the car, and my knees were just popping and cracking, and I had so much pain going upstairs that I was like, this is not fun. This is not fun at all. So on top of being in your 40s and having perimenopause going on, I've just felt some days I'm just like really miserable. And I'm just like, this could be so much better if it wasn't also a weight thing, you know? So in general, you know, there's nothing wrong. There's people that are confident, being bigger and things like that. Consider myself confident, but I wanted to be honest and say that it's not all fun at times, you know? People telling you, ooh, girl, you think, and this and that. It's all fun, right? But then when you are by yourself, you know the stuff you deal with, you know? I don't like sweating so much like sometimes. I don't like, you know, just feeling like my energy, I just crash, you know? Like I'm all good all through the morning, and then in the evenings, I start feeling like I need a nap. I want to be still going, you know? I don't want to be feeling like I need a nap sometimes because I'm just having the perimenopause and I'm having the weight. It's a lot. So that was really what I wanted to say, is that being overweight is just not fun. There's times that it's just not fun at all. Now, you know, you could be thick a little bit, but when your energy, your sleep, you know, and you just don't feel good in general, like it is not fun. The other thing I forgot to mention is that when you're overweight, clothing options is a problem, because you go to the mall, for example, and a lot of the stores just don't have anything, especially when you're in your 40s and you're trying to find cute stuff. A lot of the stuff look like it's meant for teenagers and younger thing. All the crop tops, the crop this, you're just looking like, oh my gosh, where can I find things that are cute, that are, you know, classy and things like that? It just becomes a challenge. And sometimes when I go to the mall, I just go to certain stores and walk away because the feeling just becomes overwhelming and really frustrating. So I spend a lot of time scrolling online, trying to find things that are cute, you know, things that are a little bit trendy sometimes, and things that are comfortable, you know, and things like that, to the point where sometimes I'm like, you know what, just forget it. I'm not even going to bother. So I go back to what I already have. But that's another thing that I've just noticed that is really frustrating. It's just spending